Tired of the ordinary at lunchtime? Why not try something smart to chew on? The Lunchroom on RCI, Monday to Friday, 12:45 to 2 p.m. The Lunchroom, informative, enlightening, provocative, engaging. The Lunchroom on RCI, food for thought. The station that gives you, more lunch.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Lunchroom on Radio Caribbean International. It is Thursday, the 11th of December, 2025. We're on to program number 1500 of the Lunchroom. I'm your host, Calix George Jr. In addition to Radio 101.1 FM, you can also get us at our website, rcistlucia.com, and we are streaming live on our Facebook. Just have to search for the official page of Radio Caribbean International. In just a bit, we're going to be taking in our Republic Corner with our friends from Republic Bank EC Limited. But first, a bit of history for today. In the year 1792, the French King Louis XVI went on trial accused of high treason and crimes against the state. 1913, the iconic painting The Mona Lisa was recovered 2 years after it was stolen from the Louvre Museum in Paris. And not too long ago, there was another robbery at the Louvre Museum. 1931, the Statute of Westminster gave complete legislative independence to Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Irish Free State, and Newfoundland, which was then not a part of Canada. 1946, on this day, the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, UNICEF, was established by Resolution 57-1 of the UN General Assembly. And in 1997, on this day, December the 11th, delegates from 150 industrialized nations attended a UN climate conference in Kyoto, Japan, and reached an agreement to control heat-trapping greenhouse gas emissions. We now move on to our dish of the day.
Every bed in our hospitals tells a story of someone's mother, someone's brother, someone's friend. And when that story of care is complete, it's time for the next chapter, home. But too often, discharged patients are left waiting hours, days, weeks, sometimes months, not because they want to stay, but because no one comes. We understand life gets busy, but every extra day they wait means another patient, perhaps in pain, perhaps in crisis, can't get the bed they desperately need. So when the call comes that your loved one is ready, please be ready too. Pick them up, bring them back to the comfort of family, where healing truly continues. Because caring doesn't end at discharge, it continues with you. A message from the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs.
Take your box and get back to your life. Take your box.
Serving now, the Daily Dish.
And welcome back to the Lunchroom here at Radio Caribbean International. And of course, for our dish of the day, we're taking in our Republic Corner with our friends over at Republic Bank EC Limited. Good afternoon, and how are you doing? Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good day.
Hello, good day. Can you hear us?
Looks like we may be having some difficulties connecting with.
Hello?
Well, I'm not too sure what's up there.
Hello, good day.
We did have them on hold, and let's see if we can actually get that sorted out, of course, to find out how we can get them back on. But of course, as we wait to get back with our friends from Republic Bank, I believe tomorrow is, in fact, going to be the swearing in of the Cabinet of Ministers. That'll be happening tomorrow afternoon around 3 o'clock. But I think we've gotten our friends at Republic Bank back on line with us. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Very good, thank you. And we're speaking with Miss Hiliana Mathra.
That is correct.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. How are you doing? And of course, I hope you're having a wonderful Christmas season already.
Yes, it has been very busy with for us at Republic Bank, but
One,
we're enjoying every moment of it.
yes, and of course, because of that busy season, we know that sometimes people are looking to avoid those long lines. They want to be able to get some very quick and convenient service. And I think today's the whole discussion, really, the magical convenience of Republic Bank's mobile app, banking on the go, banking where you can enjoy it any and every place. Pretty much everything is available. But let's, in fact, tell us a little bit about that Republic Bank mobile app. What makes it so easy for Republic customers?
Okay, so with reference to our mobile app, I would say the ease of doing banking. That's how I describe it. An app that's convenient for clients who is more or less always on the go. Um, it's a way of doing your banking transactions with ease, especially in the festive season where you know that a lot of persons more or less would be shopping for Christmas, buying the gifts, etc. So it's a way of monitoring what's happening on your account and doing transactions without even visiting a branch, more or less.
Right. So it certainly can save you a lot of time. I know the traffic, of course, during the Christmas season is manic. You probably don't want to, if you can avoid having to get out of the house or get out of your workplace, that can definitely save you some time. So the
Most
idea of
definitely.
getting that Republic Bank mobile app up and running on your phone could really make a big difference in terms of time savings for and just ease of doing business. Definitely.
Yes,
Now,
yes.
now one of the most talked about features with the Republic Bank mobile app is the payment with friends features. Lots of people are interested about that. Tell us, how does that work?
I think a lot of young people might be interested in that, actually.
Mm-hmm.
The friend feature on our mobile app is a way of, more or less, I would say it's a season of giving. So you find that some friends may want to gift another friend. So it's a way of actually transferring money from one friend to the next.
Mm-hmm.
Once that person is actually a contact on your phone, and this is the number that was used to set up their mobile banking, you could actually automatically transfer funds to a friend via that mobile app.
Okay, so this is in addition to the normal means by which one can transfer using account information. You're saying that
Correct.
you can also, even though you may not even have the account information, you can still transfer based on syncing the mobile phone numbers.
Correct. That is correct.
Wonderful, wonderful. And is it fair to
Yes,
say that this is something that you could, two Republic Bank mobile app users could do?
that is correct. Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Now, with the holidays fast approaching, where a lot of people are doing renovations, they want to do home improvements, they want to spruce up the house, make sure everything is looking very nice and beautiful. Now, I understand
Yes.
that Republic Bank is making it even easier to pay those suppliers who are always on the go and may not necessarily have a Republic Bank account. Tell us about that.
So that is very correct in what you're saying. So the mobile app actually ease persons from writing checks or standing in long lines. So how it works, all you have to do is simply add that person as a beneficiary using your Republic Online app,
Hmm.
and send funds to that individual, and they're able to access the funds right away with codes that is sent to that individual.
Wow. And
Yeah,
so you're saying that person does not have to have a Republic Bank account to do this?
that is correct. That is what I'm saying.
Okay, this is something that, regardless of how the person is operating, you can in fact send them funds, and this is something that is real time. Is there a delay?
Real time, real time. immediate.
Okay, so this is a lot of good news, of course, because a lot of people will be trying to pay for
Yes,
services, pay contractors on the
that's
go, and
correct.
definitely
Yes,
so, the contractor may be out getting supplies. You may need to give them
supplies.
some
Correct,
money, and
correct.
so
It's
that.
a critical time.
Wow, okay, so this is good news, definitely, and of course, this is something that could benefit everybody all the time
Everybody.
as
Yes,
well. Now,
correct.
I mean, and a lot of people would have known about the app. They might be using it just to check their accounts and make sure that their funds are there.
Yeah, it has
Transfer
quite a
between
bit
their
of features
own
on there.
accounts, maybe, but clearly the opportunities to really do a lot of other transactions is clearly very much there.
Yes,
Now,
most definitely.
now this one surprised me. You can
Mm-hmm.
send and receive money across several countries within the Caribbean this holiday season.
Absolutely. Our Republic Bank customers can transfer funds seamless across participating Eastern Caribbean territories. For example, Anguilla, Dominica, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Vincent, and Grenada. So whether you have families or friends in these territories, you could actually send money to them via your mobile app.
So this is interesting. So you're saying, do they have to be Republic Bank customers in those islands?
Yes, they do,
Ah,
and
okay.
yes and no. So you can send money for Republic Bank customers in Anguilla as well as not Republic Bank customers.
Okay. All right. So once you have the account information for those individuals, you can actually make those accounts across the Eastern Caribbean.
That is correct.
Okay, this is great news. Certainly, I mean, lots of people have relatives in other Caribbean countries.
I'm having you excited there, right? With our mobile app.
Yes, no, certainly, very much so, and it's definitely opening up, for a lot of people out there. I know they may have family working, in St. Vincent or in
That's
Dominica,
correct.
wherever,
Yes.
and you want to be able to maybe send a gift, or it certainly is something that I think a lot of people need to know the power of that Republic Bank mobile app.
Yes.
So
That's
essentially, what you're saying, Republic Bank is connecting families, businesses, the entire region.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So we are a local bank with our regional reach. No waiting days to receive funds, just fast, secure movement of money this holiday season wherever your loved ones are.
Okay, that's
That's what I'm
wonderful.
saying.
And that's great in terms of Caribbean integration and really ensuring people we can feel more as one Caribbean, definitely. Now,
That's
give us
correct. That's
give us a,
correct.
give us an example, like a real life example of how someone might use all these features in one day.
One day. Okay, so let's take for example, one may wake up on a morning, they check their balance,
Right?
they realize, okay, I have not paid that bill for the month.
Mm-hmm.
Your bill can be paid on that mobile app.
Okay. What would you do? You need to set up that specifically. How do you do that?
Yes, so you need to set up that on your app based on the pay in terms of either Lucelec, Wasco, etc.
Okay.
Yes,
So there'll be options in there. I mean, do you have to?
that is correct. Yes, there are
Okay.
options in there.
Okay, and you then put in your account information, and you
Your
can
account
just.
information, correct.
Okay, wonderful. Yes.
Another example, let's say maybe your daughter did very well on an exam and you want to gift her with maybe $100, just to go on a little shopping spree.
Mm-hmm.
You can transfer money to her account as well via online.
Okay.
Once she has an account with Republic Bank and she's able to use her debit card, she can go and do her shopping. So
I'm
there's
sure there may
quite
be a lot
few
of
features on the online banking.
a lot
Yes.
of daughters and children out there listening to this right now and saying, "No, mommy, there's no excuse. You may say you don't have money on you now, but you can
Yes.
you can still send me the money via
Yes.
the
So
app."
it's a very nice app to have,
Right.
especially on the go in this Christmas season.
Yes, indeed. Now, of course, I'm sure there are a lot of other features that you can also utilize on that app, and to really, really keep your financial freedom going very well. No doubt about it. Yes. So,
Correct.
how
Correct.
about security though? Because I know a lot of people are concerned these days about bank fraud, credit card fraud, and they're a little concerned about, identity theft and, things that may end up compromising this app that you're hearing about, right?
Yes.
You may have a phone, maybe the phone may have gotten lost or stolen. Talk about security a little bit, because yes, people want convenience, but they also want to know for sure that their funds in their bank are secure, right? So tell us, how secure is this Republic Bank mobile app?
So the app uses industry-leading security, meaning you have access to getting alerts in terms of real-time transactions, and it's multi-layer authentication. So every transaction is authenticated before being processed. That's how good our app is.
Yes, indeed,
Yes.
indeed. Now, of course, this has been a really, really eye-opening interview at this point, telling us about all the real opportunities to use the app and to really empower yourself. You could save so much time, in terms of just think about the amount of time you could save not going to have to pay your bills in different, locations. You could do it all in one space. You could do it all in the comfort of your home, in real time. So really, it really gives you a lot of opportunities here. And of course, as we've been discussing, it is safe, it is secure, it is allowing you to do things regionally at this point as well. So definitely lots to thank from
we make
Republic
it happen
Bank.
at Republic Bank.
Indeed, and you're making it happen at a really important time this holiday season, making sure that it is magical and wonderful. Now, do you have any other parting words for us? Any final comments for us, Celiana?
I would just say, come on down to Republic Bank and discover what we can make magical for Christmas for you. That's what I can say to our listeners.
Yes, indeed. And I know this is our final. This is our final program for of Republic Corner for the year. So of course, there are lots of opportunities. We've discussed things like the Republic Bank loan offerings. We've been discussing the credit card offerings as well. The perks that come with the credit cards, the advantage miles, and lots of gifts and opportunities to look forward if you are a Republic Bank customer. And if you're not as yet, you definitely need to become a Republic Bank customer as soon as possible. Thanks so very much, Ms. Celiana Matre.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, and have yourself a wonderful holiday season.
Same to you.
Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. And that has been our Republic Corner right here on the Lunchroom at Radio Caribbean International. Of course, it's also been our dish of the day. And it's also time to take in our weather report. So hopefully you can stick around after that so we can get into a few other things that are happening in our land. We'll be right back.
This has been The Daily Dish.
Every bed in our hospitals tells a story of someone's mother, someone's brother, someone's friend. And when that story of care is complete, it's time for the next chapter, home. But too often, discharged patients are left waiting hours, days, weeks, sometimes months, not because they want to stay, but because no one comes. We understand life gets busy, but every extra day they wait means another patient, perhaps in pain, perhaps in crisis, can't get the bed they desperately need. So when the call comes that your loved one is ready, please be ready too. Pick them up, bring them back to the comfort of family, where healing truly continues. Because caring doesn't end at discharge, it continues with you. A message from the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs.
It's now time for our weather report, brought to you by Island Style.
Last year, boy, problems to get shipment of tiles in time for Christmas. This year, Island Style has enough tiles in stock to cover the whole of St. Lucia. And with our Christmas sale starting now, every tile is on sale. Island Style has massive stock, the widest variety, and the very best sale prices on quality tiles. And naturally, natural stone in St. Lucia. Great deals on beautiful bathroom faucets, vanities and fixtures, styling tools and accessories. Don't fall for no gimmicks anywhere else. Island Styles annual Christmas sale is unbeatable. Tiles for miles. Deals as far as the eye can see. Start your car, ride your bike, hop on a bus, and hurry down to Island Style Town and Bath now. Castries, Rodney and Viewfo. Check Facebook for more details.
This is Radio Caribbean International. It's now time for the weather news.
And the forecast for St. Lucia valid for the next 24 hours. Winds will be blowing from between the east near 22 miles per hour or 35 kilometers per hour. Weather partly cloudy to cloudy and breezy, with a few light to moderate showers. A gradual improvement in the weather conditions is expected by this evening. The forecast for the Lesser Antilles: partly cloudy to cloudy and breezy with scattered light moderate showers, mainly during this afternoon. The weather summary: the Atlantic high pressure system will maintain moderate to brisk easterly winds and local rough seas across the region during the next few days. A plume of moisture over the region is producing scattered light moderate showers over parts of the Lesser Antilles today. Thereafter, patches of low-level clouds drifting along the wind flow will cause a few isolated showers during the remainder of the forecast period. And that is your weather report, brought to you by Island Style.
This has been RCI's Weather News. For more information, call the Weather Hotline at 454-3452. RCI 101 number 1.
Last year, boy, problems to get shipment of tiles in time for Christmas. This year, Island Style has enough tiles in stock to cover the whole of St. Lucia. And with our Christmas sale starting now, every tile is on sale. Island Style has massive stock, the widest variety, and the very best sale prices on quality tiles and natural stone in St. Lucia. Great deals on beautiful bathroom faucets, vanities and fixtures, styling tools and accessories. Don't fall for no gimmicks anywhere else. Island Style's annual Christmas sale is unbeatable. Tiles for miles. Deals as far as the eye can see. Start your car, ride your bike, hop on a bus, and hurry down to Island Style Town and Bath now. Castries, Rodney and Viewfo. Check Facebook for more details.
And welcome back to the lunchroom here at Radio Caribbean International. And of course, the number to call and tell us what's on your plate today. It is 452-3046. Again, 452-3046. And you also have the option of messaging in via our WhatsApp number. That is 724-0008. Again, 724-0008. Oh, sorry, I was told that we have some issues. Right, that's right. We have a challenge with our WhatsApp, but you do have that option there. Our direct number, 452-3046, is up and running. Now, of course, as I made mention, tomorrow we should be expecting to see the swearing in of the new cabinet of ministers for the government of St. Lucia. And of course, these individuals will be, it really is the decision of the Prime Minister at the end of the day to form his cabinet, to assign portfolios, and to seek out the types of alignments that he wants and who he believes can do a good job with particular areas, different portfolios. Of course, it is one of the first steps in human resource management for the country, for the government, trying to ensure that there is a team that is well suited, that can be placed into the respective areas that they can in fact make a meaningful difference in. So definitely looking forward to seeing that, of course, and to get a sense of the composition of the cabinet. Persons would also be no doubt curious to find out who would be certainly responsible for very key portfolios. Over the years, we've been hearing quite a lot about the matter of healthcare, for example. That was very topical over the past election cycle. The matter of financing of healthcare, major issue there, and whether the whole, issues of UHC or versus NHI, National Health Insurance, versus universal health care, what is really necessary in terms of moving forward in that sector. Because clearly, of course, in as much as we've made some progress in terms of improved infrastructure and equipment being present, we certainly still have a long way to go in terms of quality of care and ensuring that we have sufficient human resources to be able to support the work of the health sector. So the matter of training as well, skills development, also a really critical issue. Heading into the next term, we saw efforts being announced in respect of nurses and encouraging more persons to get into nursing by making it a subsidized program within the South Lewis Community College. The need to have a greater output of nurses is definitely one of the issues that we are facing. And you sometimes have unfortunate situations where there's just not enough nurses on duty, or there's not a triage nurse available, or whatever the case may be. And we definitely know that's one of the areas, given the fact that there's a very high rate of attrition, nurses heading out of St. Lucia to work in greener pastures. Of course, that might also be one of the considerations moving forward. What can be done by way of incentivizing the profession of nursing? That, of course, has been an area we've seen in the past, some attempts to provide duty-free concessions to persons in certain professions to try to keep them close to home. And, of course, the overall matter of skills development, that's a major issue globally, and certainly in St. Lucia. It is one of those areas we've got to certainly be thinking of a lot more. And particularly given the fact that we're seeing a significant gender imbalance and gender gap that is growing in terms of males not accessing higher education, further education, as much as females. Just concluded South Lewis Community College graduation seemed to have been bit of an eye-opener for some people, realizing that, the big question is, where are all the males? When you're seeing a sea of females in that graduation ceremony. And that certainly is something that we've got to be thinking about. Is the programming that exists, is it sufficient to be encouraging males into particular areas of study? And so the need, of course, for a greater focus on skills, on vocational as well as technical education is one of those areas we definitely need to look at, and quite likely will hopefully make a difference in terms of male participation. Of course, the other issues still exist in terms of the matter of how we raise our boys, how we raise males in society, and that too is another consideration that needs to be given within that context. Access to better nurturing environments for young people growing up is also certainly something that needs to be brought front and center. We saw definitely interest being paid towards that, the idea of trying to achieve universal early childhood development, those critical years between 0 and 5 in the development of children. Really very important that they are coming up in good and nurturing environments. And of course, what can the state do to be able to support that? Something that we need to be thinking about. We've seen some, for example, some effort being played towards creating safe spaces and recreation spaces for children. Of course, we've seen the park at Touge, another park developed at Grosley, the Grosley Beach Park, the likes of Carolee, for example, in the Mr. King's constituency. Those come to mind, but those are really few and far between. And so the need certainly for more recreation spaces for our young people and also recreation spaces for the benefit of young children as well. I mean, just quite recently, as you saw, the Sinusha Labour Party held their victory rally up at the Darren Sammy cricket ground. And, lots of people were able to actually come onto that field, perhaps even for the first time. And although you do see on some occasions, you have some parties and that sort of thing happening, but wouldn't it be a wonderful thing maybe to maybe once every so often to open up this broad expanse of space to allow for children to simply be able to run around and maybe have some games and activities for them. And so I think it's some of the institutions that we have, certainly they can be used a little bit more to provide, more opportunities for our young people. And of course, a lot of emphasis in terms of providing lighting of playing fields. That's certainly the emphasis on sport is one of the areas I have no doubt we want to see a continued emphasis on, ensuring that we can perform better. And sport is for recreation, but also realizing that it also has great benefits in terms of health, as well as the economics of it, the opportunity of gaining elite athletes, the likes of a Julian Alfred, for example, and being able to continue along that journey of success that we were already beginning to see. And so, of course, over the next term, there will be another Olympics. There will be, we perhaps won't be getting into the football world championships, but they'll be around, and certainly looking at trying to do a little bit more in those areas. We saw the premier leagues, the semi-professional leagues for cricket and for football. So certainly the continuation and growth of some of those programs are things that we would certainly like to look towards. Of course, developmentally, major steps have to be taken over the coming years in terms of making a shift towards renewable energy, for example. That is a major area that the country can see growth and savings in the long run, trying to reduce on that dependence of imported fossil fuels and making that transition towards a greener, more sustainable energy system, not just at the level of the grid, but even also the matter of mobility and the transport sector. That's another area, certainly, where we're seeing some early steps, early attempts being made. But the big challenge is really, how do you ramp it up? How do you ramp it up? Of course, you'd have seen South Lewis Community College, for example, and the efforts there. They were able to retrofit a minivan so that it can, in fact, become an electric vehicle. And certainly kudos to them and the efforts of the team over there to be able to achieve that. But certainly the need to ramp that up is really very, very important. I think we have a call in. Good afternoon and welcome to the lunchroom. What's on your plate today?
Hi, good afternoon, Sir Kali.
Hi, caller. How are you doing?
Sir Calix Jr., sorry.
Well, there's no sir. Just Alex is fine. Thank you.
Yeah. Something that's been running in my mind, and I think maybe you could enlighten me and the nation on that. Suppose St. Lucia were to turn a republic.
Yes.
What would have been the advantage and disadvantages of a move like that?
Well, from the shift to a republic, I suppose you could say it has a major symbolic and value in terms of the people and the mindset of themselves, that their head of state, right, is no longer a foreign individual. It is somebody who they can identify as, who's lived in that country, who's grown up, was born there, grew up there. So that's something that's important. And I don't think we should in any way, devalue that. That has a lot of great value in terms of the country's sense of self-worth. I think there's a great value in that regard, to say that, look, we can do it on our own, and even to that level. What I would say, though, as in addition to that, is that going the route of being a republic, in my view, should also be to the extent to say you now are beginning to realize that even what the institutions and the systems that you have inherited, right, you should be able to look at where you are at as a country and critique whether in fact those institutions are working, and how you believe you can mold your own system of government, right? This is effectively what the United States was able to do, right? They were able to create their own system, which they thought was going to be to their own advantage. And so, I have no problem with the republic, but I think it needs to go even deeper in terms of the constitutional reforms that are necessary. So, on the negative, there is, to some people's minds, a risk in respect of maybe what that might mean in terms of relations with the United Kingdom. Would it possibly mean that there may be, issues maybe in terms of, we have right now, for example, visa-free access to the United Kingdom? Would that necessarily disappear? I don't know. That said, I just want to make a point, though. That said, Jamaica is not a republic. Jamaica still has a governor general, and they don't have visa-free access to the United Kingdom. So obviously, there are a lot of other considerations in there.
Okay. So are you suggesting that if St. Lucia were to consider shifting to a republic, they should first have constitutional review, which is something they have already started? Don't you? Are you suggesting that they should go through with that completely and then maybe consider being a republic?
What I would say is that I would like for us to take the look at the whole package, right? If we're talking about constitutional reform, we should really, we shouldn't really just be nitpicking, so to speak, right? I'm not saying that it's not important to go the route of a republic, but personally, I would like to see serious reforms of the way we do things, right? Because you have a lot of countries that are republics, right? But the system of government is almost still the same, right? Look at Trinidad and Tobago, for example. They have they're a republic, but they run a very similar first past the post electoral system. It's almost the same as ours here. And they have the same issues in terms of tribal politics, and so I think it would be useful if we're doing this exercise that we're doing so holistically.
Okay. These countries that you mentioned, Trinidad, Jamaica, Guyana, Barbados.
Guyana's a little different. Guyana's a little different because they actually do have a a very different system there to some degree. They have a proportional representation. They have a president. It's a little different. Yeah.
Okay, but so what I was trying to drive at, and what I really want to find out is, these countries, they all have their own currency, right? Now, Barbados being the last country to move to republic, they already had their own currency.
Mm-hmm.
Let's assume that St. Lucia were to move to a republic. Would they have to change their currency?
No, I don't think so. For example, we have the Commonwealth of Dominica. Dominica has a president. It has a president. It was elected, and it's they have the same EC dollar, so they're still part of the Eastern Caribbean
but
Currency
they're still
Union.
part of the Commonwealth.
They are still part of the Commonwealth, and so is
still a part of the Commonwealth.
Barbados is part of the Commonwealth. Guyana is part of the Commonwealth. There are many republics which are part of the Commonwealth. Yep, definitely.
It means that the King of England is still the head of state.
No.
No?
That is not that.
Wow,
no.
Boy,
the Commonwealth is just a membership, a grouping of countries that have had an association, a historic association with the United Kingdom. They don't necessarily have to have. They don't have, in fact, the head of the UK, the UK sovereign as their head of state. India is part of the Commonwealth, and India has a president. Wow. India has a president. Pakistan.
I think Australia, New Zealand, and these countries also, right?
Well, yes, but Australia and New Zealand, they actually still have. They're still constitutional monarchies like us, so they still actually have governors general. In those countries. Canada is the same way; it still has a governor general, but they're not republics. They're not republics, no. So it does not prevent you going the route of being a republic. Does not prevent you from being part of the Commonwealth.
Okay, boy, the little that you said there, that thing sounds a little bit more complex than anything else, you know.
I wouldn't say it's so complex. No, it's just that you need not. I mean, the Commonwealth I wouldn't say it's a very even strong grouping. For example, I mean, it's yes, they do certain amounts of work, but it's not. It has not really been a major player at the global level in terms of negotiations. Yes, it has had its strength in the past, but I would say to some degree, the Commonwealth, that idea of the Commonwealth may have had a lot stronger value, maybe a couple decades back than even today. It's still an institution that's important, yes, but it's not. I mean, there are a lot of other groupings right now. Let's just put it that way. Whether it's the OEC, well, in our case, we have the OECS, we have CARICOM, we're members of the OAS, we're members of CELAC, we're members of a number of the UN, of course. So there are a lot of other platforms that we use to be able to, have bilateral, multilateral relationships with at this point. Even things like groupings of SIDS, right? OASIS. Small island developing states have their own groupings, which is very important in terms of climate change. Right, so there are a lot of other groupings that we are working through, and the Commonwealth is still one of them, but coming back to the point, there are many. In fact, many of in the case of Africa, there are many countries in Africa that are republics. Right, Kenya is a member of the Commonwealth. Ghana is a member of the Commonwealth. So that does not prevent you in any way from being a member of the Commonwealth.
Yeah, well, that sounds a little bit wider than I was thinking, But I had a small little discussion with a friend, and they were suggesting that if St. Lucia were to change to republic, they would have to change the currency. That's what I really wanted to find out.
No.
Yeah,
that would not be necessary.
Okay.
And
yeah,
in fact, In fact, I'm not sure. From what I recall, even the issue of the sovereign on the currency, I'm not sure if that has been completely resolved, because you would note, for example, our money has not changed. You've had King Charles.
Because the question the person was posing is that why change to a republic and you still have the queen's head or the king's head on your currency,
Yeah.
Since you are a republic,
I
that kind of way.
could be wrong, but I think that, and I'll have to verify what the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank said, but from what I recall, they have not decided to go the route of putting King Charles on the notes. We still have the Queen on our notes up to today. And I think the intention is, once that is moved, that it's going to be something different. In fact, it's not necessarily even going to be the sovereign anymore. And there's nothing really that says that at this point, there's nothing that says that we have to keep the face of the UK monarch on our currency.
And that wouldn't devalue our currency, right? Because
No.
As far as I understand, our currency is very strong, right?
No, it wouldn't have any impact on our currency. No.
Okay, thank you so much, Khalid.
Thanks very much, Colin, for that one.
Me,
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Thanks very much.
All
much
right,
appreciated. And of course, we're a little over time here already. I know we started late, so our apologies for that. But we do hope that you can join us for our program tomorrow. It's actually going to be our final program here at the lunchroom. And of course, tomorrow is also going to be that swearing-in ceremony for the Cabinet of Ministers. That'll no doubt be live on GIS NTN from 3 o'clock. So we do hope you can join us for that as well. Take care and have a great one.